In a significant statement on Indo-US ties, the US State Department has addressed two major issues: the ongoing trade negotiations with India and concerns around student visas. Deputy Spokesperson Mignon Houston emphasized Washington's expectations on fair trade and responsible student conduct under visa norms. Speaking on the trade relationship between India and the United States, Houston reiterated that while the US supports open economies, fairness remains the cornerstone.
Is that these tariffs are a way for countries to meet us at a place of fairness. That the United States has an open economy, but what we have seen is that there are unfair trade policies that have really impacted U.S. farmers, industries. And so we want to see trade that is fair, that is reciprocal, working closely. India is an essential partner in the Indo-Pacific, is an essential partner in the Quad, and we fully expect that all of our partners can understand why this is so important to an America First agenda, that we look for trade policies that really have a fairness, reciprocal, balanced way to ensure that all parties are benefiting.
On the student visa issue, the US clarified its stance amidst rising concerns over student behavior and misuse of visas.
Well, I can say that our student visa applications have opened, that students can apply and submit their application for a student visa. But what I would also say is we want students to understand when they're applying for that visa, now that the applications and the appointments are back open, we want them to understand that we want to see a use of that visa that is in line with their application, that we want students to come to the United States and study, but use those visas well, to not obstruct students from studying in class, to not vandalize campuses. And every visa decision that we make is really a U.S. national security decision, and this is why we have these policies in place with U.S. immigration law to ensure that we are holding the highest standard for U.S. immigration and U.S. visa decisions to not only protect U.S. citizens but other students who are studying from around the world in our campuses. We have, maybe I'm biased, some of the greatest schools in the world, and we want students to enjoy it, but they can enjoy it if students are obstructing the ability for other students to study and learn. And so part of our reason and our rationale is to not only protect U.S. national security but other students who are here as well. And so yes, to answer your question, I would ask students, if they're interested in applying to study in the United States, to check with their embassy to ensure those dates for appointments are open. But we have opened applications and appointments, and we are seeing individuals apply.
And finally, we end on a peaceful note. The Dalai Lama has designated a trust to handle his succession, effectively excluding, the Chinese government. Where does the U.S. stand on this?
Well, I can speak on behalf of the U.S. government, and as you know, we have seen bipartisan support for decades for the human rights of the Tibetan people. We have seen bipartisan support for respect for the Dalai Lama and for a call for China to essentially come to the table and speak to the Dalai Lama, to the Dalai Lama's representatives, to memberships, leaders in the Dalai Lama's organization and within the religious faith. We are asking for what we want to see is we want to see peace. We want to see conversations that can result in opportunities for human rights to be respected. This is what we have called for. I can't speak if these discussions took place during the Quad meeting itself, but the U.S. government's approach towards this is to really see conversations that will respect the human rights and respect the process for the Dalai Lama and members of the Tibetan faith to really have an opportunity to thrive.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.